I don't begrudge waking up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning to go on an adventure out into Japan again. Today, we are going to Chiba Prefecture, famous for probably three things. Narita Airport, one of the two main airports you'll fly into if you come to Japan. Disneyland / Disney Sea, it's got both. And not being part of Tokyo. But I'm going to change that today, and I'm going to try and find something in Chiba that is not one of those three things, okay? Something else, something authentically Japanese. So that was a place called Umi Hotaru, which is a sort of service area in the middle of Tokyo Bay. And I decided to come here just because it's a novelty, right? And there was a couple of other foreigners there, but mostly Japanese people. I wouldn't say it's worth going out of your way to visit here, and you can only really come here by car or some sort of tour bus maybe, but I don't think it's worth stopping at unless you're going to be traveling to Chiba across the tunnel and bridge, which is what we're going to go across now. I've just been through the tunnel, now it's time for the bridge, and on to Chiba. There's a big woman. The statue behind me is Tokyo-wan Kannon. Kannon is a goddess of mercy in the Buddhist religion, and she's called Kannon in Japan. Basically alone. In other countries she's known as this, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. A much smaller metal rendition of Kannon here. Is this Hachima? Idiot! Maybe Hachima. So many statues of Kannon. Onju Hosatsu. What does that mean? Onju Bosatsu. Oh, there is a duct in there. Bishamon-ten, regional security. Georgian, trust or publicity. That's suspiciously Christian looking. Maria Kannon. No way. It is Christian. It's Mary and Jesus. Ooh. well, this is terrifying. Okay, let's just... We are, I guess, next to her bosom. I think that's her bosom, because she was holding the little round thing. Bosom. I just wanted to look for an excuse to say that word, actually. There she is. So up at the 20th floor is a final little sort of shrine-y section. I guess not a shrine because it's Buddhism. Whatever this is, very detailed carving of Kannon's head and some messages in the book. It says, make a note of your request. God will surely you a request. Whatever that means. Please say Daichi Daihi Namu Kanze Ombasatsu. It's difficult to stand up completely because the ceiling is so low and it's very echoey, so I'm just going to go back down. Oh, I hit my head. So at this statue, there's frequent little points where you can go outside. Watch your head, because this is like designed for people like 100 million years ago when they didn't have any nutrients and everyone was malnourished. And you'll notice it's caged, which of course is a good thing. But the view out here, even with the cage in the way, is astounding. I wouldn't recommend sticking your camera through, but mine is attached to my wrist, so we should be okay. Beautiful view there of what I believe is Tokyo Bay. So I think we're heading over in that direction. Generally, see if I can get more of a shot of Tokyo Bay this way. I don't really have a connection to Buddhism. I don't have much of an interest in becoming Buddhist, but I do think it's quite interesting. I do like the statues that they build, and this is not the only one that we're going to visit today. This is a Kannon, and we're going to go see if we can find a Daibutsu, a big Buddha. I almost never use these, but let's see if we can capture a view. Can we? Oh my goodness, this is so hard. No. I found a very, very out of the way parking area using a trust system of putting 500 yen in the box, which I have done. And now I need to figure out actually how to get up this mountain, because I don't know. People were generally walking from this direction, so I think this is probably where we need to go. And this is a good sign. Hold on. Yes! Mount Nokogiri Trail. So there's a couple of reasons I've chosen to come to this mountain and do a little hike. Firstly, haven't been hiking in a while. It's kind of difficult to do in the summer because it's incredibly hot. It's too hot, actually. And also, if you go onto a hiking trail that's a little bit more dangerous, and I don't really know which ones are dangerous before I do them, you end up with like wet hands. But I wanted to come to this one today because this one has a... this one is called Mount Nokogiri. And Nokogiri means saw, and it's called that because the mountain looks like it's sort of in the shape of a saw, I guess. And it's just being blocked by the trees as we speak. I also think it actually just looks like it's been hacked by a saw as well. I'm presented with a choice: right, which involves stairs, or left, which doesn't. They do ultimately lead to the same place, and I think whichever one I don't take, I'll be taking on the way back, but I'm just wondering which one's going to be better to take on the way back. I'm not entirely certain. We want to end up here, up towards the top of this map, and we are currently here right down at the bottom. I think it takes about the same time, it says, so I'm assuming that one is just a bit gentler, maybe. So we'll go the easier route. Every time I come on one of these trips, I end up taking a flight of stairs, and today I've already taken a flight of stairs 20 stories up to the top of a woman's head, and I think a more gentle incline is in order. I do have my hiking boots in the car, but I've just realized that I forgot to put them on, so to be honest, anything that's not gonna cause me to fall over and die would be a preferable choice. It's pretty quiet today. I've seen a couple of people. The bugs are loud, and something worth bearing in mind that because it's getting cooler now, it is approaching winter. It's just hit autumn, but the sun sets super early around this time, so it's going to start getting darker and darker, earlier and earlier. So when we do these sorts of things and we go hiking or well, exploring anything that would require the daytime, it's worth bearing that in mind. You know, if you're coming September to March time, you're going to have pretty early days. The sun was up this morning at 5:30, 5 o'clock. It's about the same time I was, but it will be setting earlier than I will go to sleep, I assume. Another thing about this journey today is that it is... What's down here? Guys, I've discovered something. I'm walking along, and then suddenly there's a little whatever this is. So we're going to go have a look. Oh, maybe we won't go have a look. That wood does not feel very sturdy. I'm not liking my odds, and it's broken down there. We're going to leave that. I bet there's loads of bugs. I was brave for about 5 seconds and then realized that actually I don't want my foot to go through that. I don't want to infect myself with a rusty nail and tetanus, and I don't really want to be bitten by a bajillion bugs. But very, very interesting. Yeah, there's whole structures down there that have fallen over.
Lost civilization. These were once the original Japanese people who put plastic chairs and tires around everywhere and made very unstable, wet wooden platforms over the forest. And be wary of the dark, goopy tunnel, cave thing.
There's another one. The other one's just down there, and there's another one. But this one's not full of goop. Seems this path has been cut directly through the stone. And apparently, according to the signs earlier, this mountain used to be a quarry, and the stones were brought down via a sort of ropeway system. But before that, they were brought down by men with wheelbarrows. We see this in history where great projects are concerned. It's normally the labor of, well, laborers who have worked extremely hard to do these amazing feats of strength. And so I couldn't even imagine trying to carry heavy stones down here, even if it's in a wheelbarrow. Oh, there's a snake. You can't see it, it's too small. Watch out for snakes, I guess. So this was hacked away by people. Oh, it's a little muddy down here. Wow. Something tells me that feeling I had earlier about it looking like it's been hacked away and cut into this shape might be true. There's a koi carp down here. I wonder wonder who put that here, and if it's a lonely life. I am so incredibly sweaty right now. My rag that I always bring around with me is saturated and now is not rubbing very much off me anymore. It's not even that hot a day. I'd actually say it's quite nice, but I am ascending pretty consistently, which is causing me sweat problems. But amazing, they cut this whole thing out. Wow. You can hear the ring of people's bear bells, which I forgot in classic fashion. Don't go in here, obviously. Wow. It's got the appearance of some kind of like ancient temple, but it's actually just a quarry dug in. Wonderful view of the forest over what was a frankly very, very steep flight of stairs, but the next one doesn't look too bad. You'll notice as well that it's been just carved out of the stone, which is really, really cool. I got lost, and then I found my way again, so it's okay. They're all mostly bald. I think I fit in. Ingrid. Salty water. And it's pink. Oh, it tastes like, what, grapefruit or something? I can't tell. Whatever it is, it's nice. I've only had 500 mils of water and I've sweated so much. You can see the top of it there. This was not the right t-shirt to wear. I just need a break before we go see the big Buddha, which is over there. It stands at 31 meters tall. The head alone is 6.5 meters. It's a very, very big Buddha. I would definitely say things like this are worth seeing in person, because that is incredible. And it's nowhere near the biggest Buddha in Japan. And I'm still in awe. Big Buddha. I hiked a mountain to see the big Buddha. There's a parking area just over there. And now I have to hike to get back to the car.
Starting to wonder if the flight of stairs was a good idea for either direction, to be honest. My legs are about ready to give out. Not that I'm physically tired, it's just that I haven't hiking in months, so I just don't think they're used to this kind of exercise. Oh, and we've hit the bottom. We're back at that fork again right at the start of the journey. Wow, what a lovely little place just on the coast of Chiba. And I think Chiba is so good for visitors because it is quite close. You can get a boat out to Chiba from Tokyo, I believe, and so that might be worth doing if you're coming for a short amount of time. There is a port, I think, where I parked has a port, and there's a port on the other side as well. So yeah, definitely, if you want to see a big Buddha and you want to climb a mountain, or you can just take the cable car, definitely give this place a visit because I think it's very peaceful, calm, and the religious importance, not just importance, but the religious artistry. One of my favorite places I've visited when I've traveled was a Catholic church in Poland, and it was just because it was so beautifully designed, intricately decorated. I'd really like to see more of that. Now, of course, temples, you don't really go inside, shrines as well, so it's more things on the outside, but I haven't really seen any Daibutsu up to this point. I'd intended to look at one, perhaps in Toyama, but I ended up running out of energy on that trip, so I'm glad that I started with it on this one.
This is my Darama doll that I bought from the Darama temple next to Takasaki. This Darama doll has his eye filled in for me accomplishing JLPT N4. And I said that if I got N4, I would fill in his eye, and hopefully in January time, I'll be able to go to the Darama Burning Festival, which I need to look into. But what I can say is I have successfully achieved N4. So we're going to fill his right eye in. Apparently I'm using a different type of ink because it's not as dark. Now, where do we go from here? Well, at the moment I'm taking Japanese lessons online. They're pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it to try and improve my Japanese. I'm trying to use it a little bit. Yesterday when I was out and I went to go see the Daibutsu on the Nokogiri mountain, I went the wrong way, actually, but I met a group of people who had cute little babies in backpacks. It was actually really so cute, and they kind of asked where I was from, why I was out, if I was having a good time. And then I got lost, and then I decided to turn around because I knew I was going the wrong direction, and I turned back, met them again, and sort of spoke to them in Japanese and said, look, I wanted to find the Daibutsu, it's not this way. And they were kind of shocked. And we're like, oh, which way is it? An old man then gave us some instructions of how to find it. And then I just happened to join their group. It was actually really cute. It was such a pleasant experience for them to allow me to take part in that. And we did speak Japanese. And then they started to speak perfect English, actually. I don't know how, but they sort of cottoned on, this guy's an English speaker, and they just started to speak pure English with me. Though some of them a little bit of Japanese as well. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. See you.